How would you gauge success?
How would you gauge success?
Hi, I'm Jason.
I'm Luke.
And we're from RiGd Supply. And we wanted to cover a few of the popular questions that we get through social media messages, Facebook, Instagram, through our customer service emails, and just in person at trade shows. So the first one we have here is, how is your company's name pronounced? Is it RiGd, RiGd, or RiGd?
Correct answer would be none of the above. RiGd. The name comes from the idea of your rig, obviously your vehicle, and then also when you're all geared up as you intend for a given trip, you're all rigged up. So RiGd is the name. The mispronunciation of RiGd is probably the one we get the most. It's kind of the bane of our existence. Keep tweaking the logo, trying different things, adding apostrophes, uppercasing, lowercasing, to get it communicated that it's rigged.
We knew it was an uphill battle when we started, but we figured we do a good enough job, eventually it'll catch on. All right, so the second question we have is a really popular one. Why don't you guys make a left-handed swinging ultra swing?
So the reason we don't make a left swing is we're really not fans of swinging tires and bikes into traffic. When you've got that much real estate and the potential of, if you didn't close your safety pin, if you didn't get your latch secured, or if there were to be some sort of failure, the implications of swinging all of that stuff into traffic could be really bad. So it's a question we've been asked a lot, and we're kind of being a bit parental about it and just saying no, because it's not safe. Long term, if we've got a bunch of Aussies out there that want it, then sure, we'll make it for you, but otherwise it's something that we've just kind of drawn a line in the sand, and at the end of the day, we care about your safety more than we care about which side your awning's on and how much extra steps you have to take to, get around your vehicle.
Yeah, I think a good way to think about it is you have your car and you have whatever vehicle platform is, you have your ultra swing, which with your tire is going to sit at least, let's call it a 35 by 1250, like a very popular size in the Toyota world. You're talking 15 inches from your hitch out to your ultra swing, swung out fully, and then if you're adding, let's say, like a bike rack or any other hitch-mounted accessory that's going to swing with it, you have to account for the fact that that's swinging out wider than your car doors. So that's a big response that we get is like, well, your door opens into traffic, but there's also not a 35-inch tire and or a bike rack with bikes on it. So we're just doing it to protect you from yourself and any people that aren't paying attention that may be driving by when you're swinging your swing out open to access your cargo.
Fun fact, it just happened to me on the way back from Expo West.
Oh, that's right. Yes, it did.
Closing up the van, super tired, long weekend. Go around the back, check everything about the bike rack. Never check the ultra swing.
You know why that happened, though? Now I remember. It was because when we were leaving Expo, we saw another guy in a Cayenne. His swing out swung open because everybody's in a mad dash to get home.
Yeah.
He had a different swing out and it swung open. We were like, yo, 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 yo. We got distracted by his swing out swinging open and we forgot to check the van. We were like talking and
No, I just think it was negligence on my part. But I got on the freeway.
I tried to give him an out, but
I got on the freeway and then Kyle's like calling me like, dude, pull over. And I look and sure enough, it had swung open. But it swung away from the faster traffic, so it basically just swung towards the guardrail of the on-ramp, and everything was fine. No one got hurt, no one destroyed my bike or their car or anything.
So we're out here doing the dumb stuff so you don't have to.
There you go.
Ultra swing versus full replacement swing out bumper.
Yeah, so it's a question we get a lot. A lot of times that question is sort of poised in the context of, hey, I like the ultra swing because it's a more cost-effective solution versus a full bumper and replacement. You know, it's a funny question we get asked a lot of, wow, you know, this Ultra Swing costs this much, you know, I could, you know, almost be getting into a bumper swing out, and say, well, if you need a bumper swing out, first question that I'd ask is like, are you sure? Because it's really heavy, and in most cases, it's really not that good of a solution, unless you need the additional protection, which is, you know, that's a whole debate in and of itself of like, you better be really crawling hard.
Yeah, I would take a look around at the next like off-road meet you go to, whether it be a parking lot one or an Overland Expo, and just take like a survey of how many of these high clearance bumpers you see with scratches on the sides, on the bottoms, and 9 times out of 10, they're really just there as like an insurance policy, 1 or 2. It's there because it's just a perceived value of like it's better because it costs more and it's more coverage. So most people, and this isn't like putting everyone in a box, but most people don't actually need the extra weight and all the extra body armor. So we're not looking to replace body armor. We're just trying to offer a solution that is lightweight, made in the USA, offers all the utility and modularity of a full swing out bumper, plus some for less cost. And if you move on to a different vehicle platform, that unit can go with you. So that's our really big value here is it doesn't have to go with your vehicle. It doesn't require massive modifications, and you don't have to sacrifice. It's not a replacement for body armor. It's just a utility thing, and it's just something that we are very proud of that we accomplished. All right, this is a good one. Will you guys ever make just a standalone swinging hitch?
Yeah, it's something we've been asked a ton, and really for us, from day one of designing the Ultra Swing, we always intended it to be used with or without a tire. So to this day, every Ultra Swing you buy, you have the option to select no tire carrier. And the reason for that is we want people to have more experiences with the Ultra Swing than just needing to be a spare tire carrier. So you can put a camp table on the back side, you can add fuel or water to the front side. I've even put an Aluminous cargo box just straight mounted to the front of the Ultra Swing on my van, and had a really cool experience of having a cargo box. I kept kind of my camp stove, all the stuff that I'm constantly needing to pull in and out, and then had my camp table on the back and then my bike rack, and it was rad. Totally cool experience. We've actually played around with making kind of our own box, but nothing's ever fully materialized, just trying to figure out what the best dimensions would be. But we've had people get really creative. We talked to, I know Rome has talked about just mounting cases, some of their cases to it. So tons of options. We've had people get really creative.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10 in the conversations we've had, those people that are asking like, well, I just want a swinging hitch, but then they're like, oh, I want to add like a ski rack because I want to put my skis on there, and they're like, well, that's why the channel was there. So it just gives you future expandability. You can start with a stock 4Runner or Tacoma, and you don't necessarily need that tire carrier, but you want a camp table and you want to put your bike rack on and swing it out. It just gives you the forward compatibility to go, oh, hey, I just went up to 34s. Now I want to move my full-size spare outside. You don't have to then buy a new product. We just wanted it. Just making just a standalone swing, in our opinion, deletes some of the utility that we really think is valuable for most people. Ooh, this one's a good one. This one is a real good one since we launched our Ramble Rack. Can I carry a moto carrier or a moto, or why don't you make a moto carrier?
Yeah, we definitely got that one a lot. People see a swing out and they think, oh, cool, yeah, I want to swing away my dirt bike. So
don't we all?
So to answer the question, I mean, the reality is we don't make anything that isn't going to be a good experience. And swinging a full-size motorcycle with an Ultra Swing is a bad experience.
For instance, our shop truck has 3 hitches. because it was custom built to slot in a moto carrier with 3 hitch tubes on it, so it would just be the best experience possible.
Yeah. But yeah, swinging that moto away, I just had this experience. I was testing our Ramble rack kind of beyond what we officially rate it to, but I put a mini XR100 dual sport on a Ramble rack on the Ultra Swing.
On a bike rack that we make.
Yeah. Put my mini dual sport on a bike rack. Had it on the back of the van, was driving out to the local mountain bike races we've been sponsoring. And where I parked was on a bit of an incline. And just the thought of, okay, if I pull this latch and pull this pin, this thing is going to swing open and knock me to the ground.
High five!
And that bike only weighs about 175 pounds. And so it was just like, this is not a good experience. To do this well, you need a gas strut. The entire thing needs to be re-engineered. And although, yes, we have the engineering capability to make that product, it's not what our current product is designed for. It's not to say we'll never make it.
I just feel like it would require like a custom hitch to go along with it, because it's just so much. It's not how much weight, it's like once it's swung, it's where that weight is and what it does to that single mounting location. And that's why no one makes a swing out moto carrier, and 2, the carriers that are on the market are all centralized, like the weight is centralized. It does not want to leave that. So it's gnarly.
It is gnarly.
And like a moto is big. If you've ever looked at a moto on the back of a hitch, you have to realize that like the amount of offset you would need to actually be able to access your hatch or tailgate is a lot more than you realize when you actually look at it.
Yeah.
So we haven't figured out a good experience for it yet, but that doesn't mean that we're not always thinking about it or trying to chase it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where once we crack the code, maybe.
So the next time we get asked by a moto guy, hey, you guys make a swing out for a moto carrier, we're just going to peer deep into your eyes and say, are you sure you want that moto carrier?
Pretty good. You can tell Luke is triggered by this one. All right, bonus round question. This is a pretty good one, and it does happen a lot. How do I get a job at RiGd?
Well,
Are you sure you want to work here?
One thing you can do is our website has links to submit a resume. We're always happy to get resumes. And honestly, I do look through every single resume we get. And it's super cool to see more and more people that have done really cool stuff that are submitting resumes that would like to work for our team. So by all means, send us your resume. Things are always evolving here, so you never know how the stars might align for your experience lining up with a need we have. So
shoot us an email. So dream car that when you were a kid, it was like the goals, but today you look back and you're like not hitting at all.
There's so many. Right out of the gate, 3 cars that were fire back in the day that are horrible. Ford Explorer Sport Track, PT Cruiser, and the original Nissan Xterra.
Dude, the Xterra is a good one because I remember when that came out. Did that come out in like 03?
Something like that.
It was like, I'm dating myself, but that was my senior year in high school. And I remember like they're like Popular Girl got the yellow one.
That's the one I would
And they're like opening it up and it had like the first aid kit in the
Yeah.
back. And it was like,
Yeah.
why was that a cool thing? It has a first aid kit. It was like, dude, when you would go camping and your mom would pack the first aid kit, it was like, okay.
It was Overland.
So yeah, that's a pretty good one. I think garbage fire cars now that I really liked. PT Cruiser was one of them because it was like cool. The SSR, that like weird Chevy thing. Aztec, but I didn't really want that. But I thought it was actually cool when I saw like the tent thing off the back.
Yeah.
But that's garbage. And then what was the other one? I was just thinking about it. Ford Focus.
Kona edition.
No, that one's actually cool. Yeah, I still want that one. If anybody out there has a Ford Focus Kona edition with the tread as the door ding thing, hit us up.
Yeah.
We want that.
For sure.
That's actually like your dream car.
Introducing the limited edition Kona Focus, the car of the year, outfitted with a Kona mountain bike sport package. Take it for a spin. I'm looking for a place in the sun.
You can only ride one bike for the rest of your life. So, type of bike. BMX, mountain bike, road, whatever. It can be whatever. Bike category and brand. What's your all-time?
God,
that's so hard. That's a real toughie.
I think I would have to just go pure practical on that, because I really do enjoy way too many different styles of riding. So it would have to be something that I could kind of just at least get some experience of everything I enjoy, which includes enduro style riding, dirt jumps, XC stuff, gravelly stuff. So it's like one bike to rule them all. I'd have to just be aggressive geo hardtail, honestly. Mainly because to have fun dirt jumping, it's going to need to be something that's kind of snappy that way. So ironically, like my Kona Hanzo is kind of, I can dirt jump it, and I have. It's kind of weird, but it kind of works. You pretty much do everything.
Throw a shorter stem on it, you're good. Throw a longer stem.
Race it over the hump with a rigid carbon fork, like it works. So it'd be a hard life, but it would work.
Hey man, I'm all about being underbiked and over talented. So I think,
okay.
I think that's just my thing. I think I would go that way too, but I think I would just go middle of the road, like trail hardtail, nothing too crazy. Not like a Kona ESD, but not like a epic hardtail. Like right in the middle, like a Fuse.
A Fuse.
Yeah, if we're talking specialized bike, Fuse. Because you can run that single speed.
Yeah.
You can run that geared. You can run it rigid. You can run it suspension. Yeah.
Yep.
Worst job you had before starting RiGd?
Mine would be, for 1 week, I left the bike shop that I had been at for almost a decade and went to dig trenches for a high voltage electric company.
What are you trying to prove? Like, what were you doing?
I was about to get married, and
Okay.
I thought I thought there was opportunities for something maybe more long term. I lasted a week and then went back to the bike shop. So it was pretty brutal.
Mine was working at a bike shop. It was actually the second to last bike shop I worked at. And it was just a family-owned bike shop, but it was old school, no inventory, no computer, manual, handwritten receipts. And bottom line is, it was just a family-owned business. All the siblings worked at the shop, and I was one of like 3 people that weren't a family member. So there was just so much nepotism happening on the daily, and I'm a loyalist. I was invested. And so it was just hard because it was like emotionally taxing, and also it's just a family-owned business, so things are a little bit looser. So the lines were always crossed daily. So it was just one of those things where I learned a lot, and I just learned how I wanted the culture at my next jobs or businesses to be. So bike shops teach you a lot about yourself, I think.
That they do.
You meet a lot of people. So it was actually the best experience, but the worst job I've ever had. Mm-hmm. This one might be kind of a hot button for some of you out there. When is my Ramble Rack going to ship?
Great question. Ramble Racks are still in production. Things are moving forward.
But they're better. We've made some positive changes, which have caused slight delays, but it's for you.
Yeah.
For your benefit.
I mean, since we launched our initial pre-order, we've just continued to go better with everything we're going to be shipping. So like we've mentioned in some other videos, our single is actually expandable up to 4 bikes. As we go, each little change we make is only in the direction of something that we feel is a necessary improvement to just give you from day one the best possible experience. And some of the reasons why that takes more time is we really believe in giving our early adopters something that's truly going to be backwards compatible. So when you're dealing with backwards compatibility, that means that you've really got to make sure that the decisions you're making now are going to have an impact over years to come. That being said, all things considered, we're about a month to 2 months out. 2 months for sure, we'll be shipping racks.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning into this one for some of the fun, frequently asked questions.
And yeah, if you have another question you want answered, feel free to shoot us an email, support@rigsupply.com. You can call us, or you can just drop by the shop. We're actually at our shop 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, doing work, and we love when people come by and gives us a chance to get to know you. So seriously, if you're in town on a road trip, whatever, and you're in the Orange County area, cruise by. We'd love to meet you.
Catch you on the next one.
Cheers.